Bula, my name is Nyao Mai. I'm acting team leader for governance and institutional strengthening with the Human Rights and Social Development Division. This year we had the Triennial Conference of Pacific Women and the Ministers of Women meeting in May. And a core aspect of that was looking at the impacts of COVID-19 in terms of progressing gender equality in our region. One of the priority areas is to address gender-based violence. And this is a core part of this regional working group. We have a specific focus on looking at domestic violence and the implementation of the laws. And the link between the two meetings is progressing the key outcomes that have been made at the ministerial meeting and trying to hone on this further on how countries can bring life or implement these outcomes. This year in particular was important for us to look at the experience that we've had in the last 2 years. With the COVID pandemic, the restrictions in our countries, we've also had the natural disasters that our countries have faced. Now these have exacerbated the already high rates of domestic violence that we've had. And so it was a time to take stock of how has the law been responsive to support survivors of domestic violence during a time where many of our countries are struggling with the restrictions and trying to respond to the COVID pandemic. So there are a number of key recommendations that have come out of this meeting. As I said before, it's bringing to life or countries committing to address some of these implementation gaps. So some of these include, there was key learnings about across our region when COVID hit or when we have times of disasters. Many of these ministries that lead the work on supporting survivors of domestic violence, those that provide counseling service, safe accommodation, are not considered essential services. So one of the key recommendations is the need to ensure that these support services are considered essential services and can operate to be able to assist survivors. The second is the need to ensure that the relevant capacity building programs are provided. For example, the need to have counseling support for survivors, but we need to ensure that they are trained to be able to support a survivor through what they are facing, but also to be reactive in these various challenges that we are facing. And I guess the third one I wanted to touch on was the need to address the gaps on data collection. We can only respond and ensure that programs are effective or responsive enough if we have the most up-to-date data and information at hand. And that's a big gap that a lot of our member countries have at the moment. Now that our members have endorsed this outcomes document, it really is a priority for all our member countries to now put a focus on implementing these commitments that they've made. For some of them, these are not new. These are things that they have started, that they need to, again, accelerate because of the impacts of the pandemic that we have and other events that our countries are facing. For others, there is a need to strengthen what we already have. And it's also a time for us, like SPC and our key partners, to explore what we can do to support our members. So on one hand, it now is in the hands of our members to take forward, but it's also with us, the Secretariat, and our other partner agencies to look at how we can assist our members.